Okay.
What is going on YouTube? Today we are back with another version of the past, present, and future video. Today we'll be talking over Valkyries, the healer support of the game. And for supports guys, it's going to be a little bit different on how I talk about these videos in particular compared to DPS, because DPS usually one build or one build with like different elements are the way to go. However, for supports, their builds differentiate differently depending on what the content is. So in this case, I'm going to be talking more specifically three types of weapons: the stackers, the cores, and the situational weapons. And we'll go ahead and go off those. So I'm pretty sure you guys are aware Generation 1 supports. We had Osiris Jade as our best stacker at the time. You could have used Osiris Rods, but Osiris Jade was the main stacker because it was the only Osiris that was able to heal from. I mean, you can use hammers as well. I believe there's I'm not sure what class. I think it might have been like priest or something, or bishop, that can use hammers to heal as well. Those are kind of beneficial. But if you want to transition to Valkyrie, only Osiris Jades carry on from after that. So your cores are really simple: the butterfly and the eclipse rod, HP buff as well as immunity, plus the quick territory is really beneficial for the whole team. And then you have the basic situational weapons such as another butterfly for that in case that extra one falls off if you're too busy doing other stuff. And our QT to stack up the quick terry faster to hit the cap. You can use an Iber crystal for the revive, would combine with the Osiris Jade makes it pretty much 100% res, and Living Guardian that 100% guaranteed. So we'll call this the Generation 1 build. So this was the back in the olden days, very generic one. This is the one that I've been using for like a very long time. So we'll call this one the Athena and the Okay, so for this one we'll call this the Generation 2 series with the Athena and the introduction of wings. We'll call this the Athena meta and tier 3 meta. So this is basically one of the huge updates or huge metas into the game. The introduction of Athena Scepter makes it so you can HP buff while autoing as well as healing. Gives one more stack over Osiris Jade. Doesn't mean Osiris Jade is replaced, just means that this one is the best stacker as of right now, so this should be go-to. It'll make everything a lot easier. So your core, your butterfly scepter, and your eclipse rod are very standard cores as well. Situational weapons stays pretty much the same, and this time around we have butterfly wings and the starbird wings. So if the content say like it's fire magic, you'll bring the water butterfly wings. If it's like earth magic, then you bring wind butterfly wings. And situations where it's like a null elemental or like a magic damage that has like a lot of one shot potential, you'll bring the starbird wings, and these are very helpful later on as well. And the final one, my webcam's in the way, so I'm probably gonna like type it down here. We'll call this the gem series meta. Basically it's the same thing, except usually in the Japanese version we got this one later on in the future, so at this point you don't need the double stacking if you don't want to. I dropped the butterfly in situational because at this point you have enough HP buffs with the tank. If you're playing with the tank, most likely you do. Combined with the Athena autoing, at this point you don't really need the secondary one, so that's why I dropped the butterfly off this. So Gem Scepter replaces Quick Territory because Quick Territory Eclipse Rod, because this gives crit, elemental boost, and cooldown reduction. So this replaces Eclipse Rod itself. And aside from that, I dropped the Iber Crystal because at this point you don't really need it. There's metals for that, so I'd say it's better just to have that on the side. You can bring Living Guardian if you want. I stopped bringing Living Guardian unless I really need to have it. So this is optional as well. Double Gem Scepters, this is an on and off. You can if you want to. I personally think it's like meh. Sometimes if you want to have like the extra in case of an extinction wave, it's really nice to have. But again, most of the time one is perfectly fine. Butterfly wings and starbird wings are still the same, and later on you'll have content where EP is really necessary to have, and sometimes the DPS will like run out really fast. That's why I recommend using Goddess, guys, because Goddess stacks while not wasting EP, so that's a very good series to have. So later on, Eclipse Scepter is something you'll look forward to in having. And the next one we have the no Goddess meta, guys. I already told you before, Goddess wings are terrible for Valkyrie, so I wouldn't recommend getting those. So go ahead, and it's the same thing. Once Goddess comes, which is where we're at right now, you can just go ahead and skip those, and it's perfectly fine. You'll be looking at the this one right here, which is the core as of right now. And so, after that, we have the Prison and Dragon Gem update into the game. I did both at the same time because I don't want to like split them off and have like a lot of junk just talking randomly on the side. So we'll call this the Prison and Dragon Gem metas. So at this point, I went ahead and dropped the extra butterfly. For me personally, I don't use butterfly anymore unless I really need to have to, or I'm just lazy, or I feel like there's not going to be a tank when I'm doing like random content. But aside from that, Athena Scepter and Gem Scepter are going to be a go-to. These are the core. Butterfly wings aren't replaced, guys. They're still used, except if you do have prison wings and they do cover the same element, I will go ahead and take the prison wings. Prison wings are just basically the Eclipse Scepters and Butterfly wings combined, so these are very nice to have. So I recommend, if you do get prison wings, guys, just go ahead and slap those on and replace that Butterfly wing that you were using previously. Starbird wings aren't replaced because these are unique. Again, guys, use them when there's like a content where you don't get one shot by magic a lot. I use mine during Azura EX, so this is very good to have. Living Guardian optional, guys. You don't really need to carry it with you, like I said earlier. And another Gem Scepter if you feel like you need it. Dragon Gem Scepter, basically what this does is damage limit to whole team, HP buff. I personally don't like this weapon too much because I really don't feel like the damage limit helps my teammates that much. And the cooldown is like 45 seconds. Mine's skilled up on Legendary like to level 4, and even then it's pretty long on cooldowns. You can use it, guys. You can do cool stuff with it, but I personally don't think this weapon's like that good. You can turn some cool stuff with it. Maybe that little boost to your teammates' power. That'd be nice to have. But most of the time, Valkyries are used there for like protection, like Starbird wings and Prison wings or Butterfly wings, and quick territory. That's the main purpose of having a Valkyrie, not for like damage limit buffs. That's for I'll talk about later on for that. And this is the Zeus metas, guys. So this is very simple. Oh god, I cannot see that. I'll type it right here. Zeus meta. Again, guys, Athena Scepter is still very good, but basically if you do have a Zeus Scepter, go ahead and replace that with the Athena one because this gives 12 stacks compared to the 3 stacks you get from this. Auto attacks are pretty much the same. You get HP buffs and you get heals, so this is why Zeus Scepter is very good, and everything else stays relatively the same. And then we'll go on to the final one. This is where it gets trickier, guys. This is when tier 4 weapons are introduced into the game, and you can go ahead and just do a combination of everything. So most of the times I bring Athena Scepter and Graham together. It gets really tricky with these kind of things, but I can go ahead and bring 2 stackers with these because Graham is very useful. Auto attacks are basically plus 2 stacks, a little bit of cooldown reduction, and heals the whole team. And that lasts for a whole, I believe it's like 3,600 seconds, so like 60 minutes, for just one auto attack. But it can be Extinction Wave, that's the issue. And the active is plus 3 stacks to your whole team. So if you auto attack once and use your active once, that's plus 5 for you and plus 3 for whole team. And it can be Extinction Wave because this tier 4 weapons are one-time use. So I go ahead and combine it with an Athena or a Zeus, and there's basically a lot of stacks right here. Remember that your Gem Scepter is your core. These weapons here are still situationally needed. Dragon Gem again, guys. You can if you want to add it. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead and do that. And Shrine Store or Nerus. This is a very unique weapon. Basically, what this weapon does is plus 1 to the whole team. Heals on auto attack. I think it gives plus 2 water on auto attacks as well. I'm not really sure on that. But the main purpose of this weapon is it grants it's basically like a cleanser and a immunity grant at the same time. So let's say you're fighting Dark Fallen Joe, the most recent content global right now. If you use this without it can be Extinction Wave, so keep that in mind. If you use this, it clears all the status ailments on your whole party, as well as grants immunity for them until that EX wave hits. That's when it'll go down. But if the content doesn't have EX wave, then if this is up the whole time, no one's gonna get status debuffed at all. That's the cool thing about this. So that quickly this covers Valkyrie, guys. A lot to take into. Builds are different every time the content arrives. So like fire content is different from like earth content compared to neutral element content. So just have like a handful of these weapon guys and just work with the build, test them out. There's no correct build for Valkyries. Just remember to keep the core in mind, the stackers and a quick territory. That's like the basics. A healing and a cooldown reduction. And then bring your protectors like a resurrection, a auto resurrection, immunity, EP regeneration, damage limit, immunity plus stacks whatever to your teammates. Remember, guys, tier 4 of us can be extinction wave. I'll keep saying that until you guys get the point. But yeah, guys, that's the end of this video. That will cover Valkyrie. And stay tuned for more, guys. I have 3 more classes left to talk about. So this will be a fun one.